I was finally going through YouTube and I actually found a pretty popular video that I liked for the most part. That's right, there was a couple things I didn't like, but most of it I did. It was called 10 Life Hacks That You Need to Know for Summer. And I actually liked this one. So the first thing, they talked about hamburgers. You know, you go to the restaurant, whether you go to Ruby Tuesdays or you go to Steak and Shake or you go to Hardee's or any of those wonderful places, and you buy yourself a hamburger. Usually the top bun is bigger than the bottom bun. Okay, these are actual hamburger buns, and if your top bun is actually bigger than your bottom bun, yes, you want to eat your hamburger upside down, because otherwise your bottom bun falls apart and then you don't have a bun. So yes, that one I have to say they were absolutely right on, except for one thing. If you get your hamburger on a Texas toast, or if you get a pure piece of Angus beef. Okay, now Angus beef is a lot thicker than your ordinary hamburger. Okay, a hamburger patty is not that thick. But if you get a real big piece of Angus beef, or if your hamburger is served with Texas toast, then that's a little different. Then things don't work quite as good. So there you go. Now, what about the straw that goes in your soda can? A lot of people don't drink out of the soda cans anymore. They usually drink out of the 20-ounce bottles. My suggestion is, if you have a whole slew of 12-ounce cans, instead of messing with a straw, take those 12-ounce cans and pour the contents into 20-ounce bottles. Keep a whole slew of 20-ounce bottles that are cleaned out, and there are plenty of little dish things you can use to clean those things out with, and then use those 20-ounce bottles, pour the 12-ounce cans into those 20-ounce bottles and drink from that instead. Just saying. Okay, the slicing of the mangoes, great idea, except for one thing. I would not have that thing in your hand whatsoever while you're slicing the mango, no matter what the circumstances is. You can put that thing on a cutting board and cut that checkerboard thing out just like they showed in the video, and you don't get your hands cut that way. I think that's a pretty poor thing for them to show it that way. I really do. Especially if young kids see that, they might get that idea and they could very easily cut themselves. So no. Cutting the mangoes in a checkerboard manner, that's great, but do it on a cutting board. That I disagree with. Okay. The cornmeal for the ants. Most ants will die if they eat cornmeal or grits, either one. Why? Because it gives them severe digestive problems and they can't digest either one. However, there are some ants that are a little tougher than the ordinary ants, and grits and cornmeal won't necessarily kill them. So you might want to add just a pinch of taro to go along with that. But by doing the cornmeal, by doing the grits, you don't have to use near as much taro to get the job done. Like I said, most ants will die from that kind of stuff because it causes them digestive problems, but the few that can survive the grits and survive the cornmeal will not survive the taro. So I would use a combination personally. Okay? Now, rolling up the bags, the potato chip bags, that's a great idea. I don't know why nobody's ever told us that before. I think it's a great idea. So I agree with that 100%. The disposable containers for the fruit flies, again, a brilliant idea. You just want to make sure the saran wrap is nice and tight around that container. Make sure that the container you're going to use, you're going to just throw away. It has to be something real cheap. Okay, they showed them real small, but make sure the containers are also real cheap. You could probably do it with a plastic cup, or even a paper cup for that matter. You really probably could. And for environmentalists, a paper cup is just fine. Okay, it's also biodegradable. Okay, using Dixie cups or cupcake. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering here. Using Dixie cups or cupcake liners to hold the drippings from your popsicles is a great idea. I don't know why they didn't come up with that years ago. They should have. And don't even know why they don't sell those on the open marketplace. Say, hey, you know, this is already pre-cut for you. Just put your popsicle in there, and there you go. They should. That'd be something that would really sell. Okay. Using your muffin pans for condiments, I think it's a great idea. Just make sure they're thoroughly clean, because when you start baking your muffins, you don't want the taste of ketchup or mustard or pickle relish or something like that in your cupcakes. So aside from that, I think it's a great idea. Alright. The covert containers. That was a bad idea. Here's the reason why. Because now you have put it up on YouTube for millions of people to see. Of course, the criminals are also going to see this. And because of that, you've just made the whole thing useless. So, unless the criminal's dumb enough not to watch YouTube videos, which probably they're the ones watching, you kind of blew it. You need a container that's a little more inconspicuous than a shampoo bottle. Okay? Because now, what's going to happen is that people are going to go along the beach, they're going to find every shampoo bottle in sight, and they're going to steal those, whether they have shampoo in them or not. So like I said, that one was a bad idea. Okay, now the bottled water was a great idea. I never thought about doing that myself. I probably should. I think it's great. I think it's an absolutely wonderful idea. So like I said, for the most part, I agreed with this video. There were a couple of things I disagreed with, and those were my reasons for saying so. But like I said, the majority of the stuff, very good idea. So, anyway, I will tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned.